ओम ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति
ईश्वरो
मूर्तिभेद विभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः।
दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः।
सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति।
ओम शांति शांति।
ओम पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं
पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं
व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम्
व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम्
अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम्
अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम्
अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्
अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते।
यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतस्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः
यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रस्तुवन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः
वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैर्गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः
ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः
यस्यान्तन्न विदुःसुरासुरगणा देवाय तस्मै नमः।
यस्यान्तं न विदुषुरासुरगणाः देवाय
तस्मै नमः।
सर्वस्वरूपे सर्वेशे सर्वशक्तिसमन्विते भयेभ्यस्त्राहिनो देवी
दुर्गे
देवी
नमोऽस्ते
नमोऽस्ते।
रोगानशेषान्नपगन्ति दुष्टा कामान् सकलानभीष्टान् त्वामाश्रिताय गच्छ्रयतां प्रयान्ति
सर्वाबाधा
प्रशमनम्
एवमेव
कार्यम्
अस्मद्वैविनाशनम् सर्वस्वरूपे सर्वेशे सर्वशक्तिसमन्विते भयेभ्यस्त्राहिनो देवी
दुर्गे देवी नमोस्तुते
कामान् सकलानभीष्टान्
कामाश्रिताभ्याश्रयतां
प्रयान्ति
सर्वाबाधा
प्रशमनम्
त्रैलोक्यस्याखिलेश्वरी
एवमेव
त्वया
कार्यम्
अस्मद्वैविनाशनम्
सर्वस्वरूपे सर्वेशे सर्वशक्तिसमन्विते भयेभ्यस्त्राहिनो देवी
दुर्गे देवी नमोस्तुते रोगानशेषानपगंसिता
कामान् सकलान् त्वामाश्रितान्
नराणाम्
कामाश्रिताभ्याश्रयतां
प्रयान्ति
सर्वाबाधा प्रशमनम् त्रैलोक्यस्याखिलेश्वरी एवमेव त्वया कार्यम् अस्मद्वैविनाशनम्। अर्जुन उवाच सन्न्यासं कर्मणा कृष्ण पुनर्योगं च शंससि।
अर्जुन
उवाच
सन्न्यासं
कर्मणा कृष्ण पुनर्योगं च शंससि।
यच्छ्रेय एतयोरेकं तन्मे ब्रूहि सुनिश्चितम्।
यच्छ्रेय एतयोरेकं तन्मे ब्रूहि सुनिश्चितम्।
श्रीभगवानुवाच सन्न्यासः कर्मयोगश्च निःश्रेयसकरावुभौ।
श्रीभगवानुवाच सन्न्यासः कर्मयोगश्च निःश्रेयसकरावुभौ।
तयोस्तु कर्मसन्न्यासात् कर्मयोगो विशिष्यते।
तयोस्तु
कर्म
कर्मसन्न्यासात्
कर्मयोगो
कर्मयोगो
विशिष्यते।
विशिष्यते।
ज्ञेयः स नित्यसन्न्यासी यो न त्वेष्टि न काङ्क्षति।
ज्ञेयः स नित्यसन्न्यासी यो न
वेष्टि न काङ्क्षति।
निर्द्वन्द्वो हि महाबाहो सुखं बन्धात् प्रमुच्यते।
निर्द्वन्द्वो हि
महाबाहो
महाबाहो
सुखं
बन्धात्
बन्धात् मुच्यते।
The name of fifth chapter, Karma Sannyasa Yoga. And what is the Karma Sannyasa? We have seen in detail in last week. One is called Vividisha Sannyasa and one is called Sarva Karma Sannyasa. The Vividisha Sannyasa means a person who is interested in pursuing knowledge, and that person to know Ishvara or to know Vedanta, if we renunciate, it called Vividisha Sannyasa. And what is Sarva Karma Sannyasa? A person who knows the real nature of oneself, and a person who knows I am consciousness all pervading. Such person is called Sarva Karma Sannyasi. And Sarva Karma Sannyasi may be Gruhastha also, means householder also, and Sarva Karma Sannyasi may be Sannyasi also. So and here Bhagavan are discussing not Vividisha Sannyasa, but Bhagavan is discussing Sarva Karma Sannyasa. And Sarva Karma Sannyasa is equal to Moksha. Another name. And what is the meaning of Sarva Karma Sannyasa? A person who has given up all activity from mind only, either is a Gruhastha or is a Sannyasi. But Sarva Karma Sannyasi is one who is a Atmagnana. But Arjuna was confused. If Bhagavan is always praising sannyasa, then why he is pushing me in karma? That's why Arjuna, we have seen this, but in first Arjuna has asked, Hey Krishna, Tvam Shansasi. The meaning is, Oh Krishna, you are praising. And what Bhagavan praising? Karmanam sannyasam. You are praising to given up all karma, and punaha, and again yogancha shansasi, and again you praise karma yoga also. So which one is better? Should I follow karma yoga or should I pursue sannyasa, to given up all karma? Yat shreyaha. Which one is better? Etayoho. Etayoho means in between karma yoga and sannyasa. Yat shreyaha. Which one is better? Tanme bruhi. You please tell me definitely so I can pursue that. You have to tell me what should I follow. So when Arjuna asked, Bhagavan has replied in second verse and he says, Sannyasah karma yogaha cha nishreyasa karau ubho. Ubho means both of them. Bhagavan says, Nishreyas karo ubho. Both are ubho. Nishreyas. Both were leading to Nishreyas, means Atmagnana only. Sannyasa also can lead to Nishreyasa. Even Karma Yoga can also lead Nishreyas. So both are good. Tayostu. But if we compare both of them, then Karma Sannyasat Karma Yogaha Vishishyate. But if you compare both of them, then Karma Yogaha is better than renunciation of all actions. And why Bhagavan has said that we have seen in last week. So there are more security in Karma Yoga, there are more family background. So we have all emotional support also in Karma Yoga. While a person is not ready, so Vividisha Sannyas is for a mature person, one who can live a quite full quietude life, one who can have only one goal of Bhagwan or Ishwar or Vedanta. Such person are very rare. That's why Bhagwan says, Karma Yoga Vishishyate. And one beautiful definition Bhagwan has given for sannyasi, Gneyaha Sanitya Sannyasi. One should know Gneyaha, the meaning you should know, it should be known. Saha Nitya Sannyasi, that person is ever sannyasi, ever renunciate. And who is there? One who doesn't have any hatred, one who doesn't have any long for. So a person who doesn't have any hatred, at the same time, a person who doesn't have any longing for anything. Such person is considered as a ever renunciate. And why such person is ever renunciate? That's why Bhagavan says, O Mahabaho, O mighty arms, Nirdvandaha, one who are come out from pair of opposite, like Sukha Dukha, Mana Apamana, or are called pairs of opposite. Such person easily, Sukham means easily, Bandhat Pramuchyate. The Bandha means bondage, and bondage are not outside. The bondage are sitting in our mind. If we think I am bound, so it's called bondage. If we are confused, are called bond. So Bhagavan says, if a person is grew out of all pairs of opposite, such person can be released from all type of bondage, and that person also considered as a ever renunciate. We have seen that much, now more. That we have seen, Yona Dveshti na Kankshati. And again, even we know everything, but still all desire are not bad. A desire, according to Pujya Swamiji, there are two types of desire. One is called binding desire and another is called non-binding desire. Binding desire means a desire because of which we are also disturbed, and because of our desire, other people around us, if are disturbed, such desire are called binding. And some desire to help society, to do some research, whatever, which is helpful to society and which is helpful to oneself also, all are called non-binding desire. And if Bhagavan says na kankshati means he doesn't have any desire or she doesn't, it doesn't mean the meaning is a desire which is non-binding we can keep. And how we can come out from such pairs of opposite or all type of hatred and longing for. So I have told last week, we can have a good prayer every day when we get up. And still we are inside the bed only, need not to take bath also, but we can pray. And what is the everyday prayer? So we are disturbed, we are confused. What are disturbed? Because we are seeing people according to our raga and dvesha. So if we, every day if we pray to Lord, okay, oh Lord, let me accept all people without any my coloration. If we accept people like that, then our mind may be calm. Even we say, oh Lord, let I have not any longing or hatred for anyone. And last one is, oh Lord, let me have Shastra's vision, and that Shastra's vision is, whole Jagat is nothing but manifestation of Ishvara. If I can see. And this prayer is not one day prayer. We have to keep on doing every day. And then our subconscious mind will accept this prayer's wordings and meaning. And when time will come, in such situation, it just surface in our active mind and we can act We never react them. So such prayer is helpful to keep our mind quiet. And such person is called Nitya Sannyasi. When at that time also we have seen there are many people are is Kadachit Sannyasi. The meaning of Kadachit means sometimes they are sannyasi and sometimes they are not. When time comes, if they are cremation gown, they become a sannyasi. They have may vairagya also, but when they come out from again cremation gown, they are same as they were previous. So Nitya sannyasi means ever. There is a not even in sleep also. They are always know I should not have any hatred or longing. It's called Nitya sannyasi. And now in fourth verse, Bhagavan says, Sankhya yogo pruthak balaha pravadanti na panditaha ekamapyasthitak samyak ubayor vindate phalam. Balaha pravadanti. Here balaha means a people whose mind is like child, whose mind is like children. They argue. Yes, Pravadanti, really the meaning of Pravadanti means they are talking, they are telling, and what they are telling, Sankhya and Yoga are Pruthak. They say Sankhya means sannyasi and Yoga means Karma Yoga. Both are different. And the meaning of different means they have the result are different. They always think Karma Yoga can give only Antakaran Shuddhi, while sannyasa will only give atmagyanam. Such people, balaha pravadanti, but Bhagavan says, na panditaha. One who is wise people, one who is jnanam, such people never tell like this. Only one who doesn't have jnanam, then these people keep on telling, both are separate. And even Bhagavan says, ekam api. Here, ekam api asthitaha. If person follow only one discipline, ekam, either you can choose Sankhya or you can choose Yoga. Ekam api asthitaha. The meaning of asthita means one who follows properly. Samyak asthitaha. One who follows properly, diligently. Then they will get upayoho phalam vindate. They will get both disciplines, lifestyles, phalam. Because phalam is saying, if either people follow karma yoga, the lifestyle is different, then but phalam is same. Person will gain jnanam. If sannyasi is there, his lifestyle is different, but same. That person, sannyasi, will also ultimate jnanam will take place. So either grihastha or sannyasi, phalam will be same. Only lifestyles are different. But still people are confused. They always say sannyasi will take jnanam, not grihastha. And that's why Bhagavan says, Balaha pravadanti. This argument is done by people whose mind is like children. Balaha pravadanti. So that's why first Anvaya, Balaha Sankhya Yoga Pruthak pravadanti. Balaha means other people, they pravadanti. They are telling, they are arguing. Pruthak means separate. And what is separate? Sankhya means sannyasa and yoga means karma yoga. Both are different. The meaning different means their results are different. Sankhya yoga can give moksha, karma yoga cannot give moksha. So pruthak vadanti, but na panditaha. Panditaha na pravadanti. They never tell like this. And even Bhagavan's this declaration, samyak ekam api astita. A person who follows astita, having kept astitaha, ekam api, even a person only one lifestyle, Ubayoho phalam vindate. But they will get result of both discipline. Ubayoho means Ubayo means sannyasa and karma yoga. Both phalam that person will get, because phalam is same. Still, I can say karma yoga is a lifestyle to pursue knowledge, and another is sannyasa. We have seen last time many times, that's why I'm not showing you. But still, sannyasa is one type of lifestyle. In sannyasa life also, what sannyasi has to do, he has to purify one's mind. They have to do japa and they have to listen shastra. Same thing karma yogi, a person who lives in house, a householder, they have to do by karma yoga, means all type of action. Antakara shuddhi will take place. Person are also doing japa, one who is gruhasti, and that person also shravanam, they are listening shastra also. So both karma yogi, either karma yogi and sannyasa will get same result. And what is the name of result? Moksha only. But karma yoga, chitta shuddhi, upasana, and jnana, three disciplines, three sadhana, both karma yogi and sannyasi has to follow. And upayoho means the phalam is same, moksha. That Bhagavan is telling here. Even here, there are many cult is available. They say the moksha is only after death. After death, the person will go in some place like Vaikutha, Kailasa, Akshardham. There are many types. Akshardham is for Swaminarayan people. They are considered as a Balaha. So that's why I have written the meaning of Balaha means a people like children, one whose mind is like children. We must have noticed children between 6 to 10 years, they used to go to school and teacher teaches something, their own subject, and they came back from school. If parent would like to teach same subject, then these children will tell, often they used to tell, Mama, you don't know, but my teacher knows. You don't know, because they think our parents are more ignorant and my teacher is good. She or he, whatever teacher is, they are more clever than my parents. So they always argue that parents don't know much, only our teachers know. It's called Balaha, because they don't know what parents are. Even Puja Swamiji has given one example. If father says something to children, this money is very dangerous. You always use carefully. The money dangerous, when father says, the meaning he would like to convey is the money is dangerous if it is not earned properly and if it is not used properly. Then money is dangerous. But that small child cannot understand. He can understand only one thing: money is dangerous. Then he keep on telling everyone, be careful, money is dangerous. Money is dangerous. Same way, Shastra says, there are people, they only read some portion of Shastra. Either is a Karma Kanda or they can also read only Vedanta. Then one who read first part of Vedanta, they say only Karma Yoga give moksha. There are some people who follow only Vedanta. They say only Vedanta give moksha. But when they read properly whole Veda, then they can have pure, correct vision. Who will give moksha? Even not karma yoga will give moksha, even not sannyasa. The moksha will have, we know we are muktaha when we have self-knowledge. The means of moksha is only knowledge. Even no karma yoga, no sannyasa. But people, they don't know, they say, either karma yoga will give moksha or sannyasa. One who speak like that, it's called Balaha. That's why Bhagavan says, Balaha Pravadanti. They tell like this. And one thing is more, sannyasa, suppose, really speaking, sannyasa only meant for to pursue knowledge, while karma yogi has many choice. Householder is, they would like to become an artist. If a householder would like to become a scientist, they would like to follow politics also. But some punyashali people would like to pursue a life of karma yogi. The meaning of life of karma yogi means one has chosen their goal. And what they have chosen their goal is, I would like to know who am I. Then this person follow a life of karma yogi. Otherwise, there are many choices are available in Grihastha life. But if sannyasa is there, then only one, and that one is that vividisha means they have taken, renunciate everything only for pursuing knowledge. So when sannyasa is there, there is only one choice. But being Grihastha, householder, there are many choices. But only Punyashali, one who is blessed, that person only can choose Karma Yoga life. That's why both Karma Yogi and Sannyasi have knowledge, only lifestyles are different, but both can have Jnana. Arjuna has asked which one is better, Sannyasa is better or Karma Yoga is better, but Bhagavan has given here Sankhya Yoga Pruthak Bala. So he has taken Sankhya for sannyasi and yoga for karma yogi. The meaning of Sankhya, primary meaning is sannyasa only. Same thing Bhagavan has tell in 3rd chapter, Lokesmin Dvividhanishta Pura Prokta Maya Naga Jnana Yogena Sankhyanam Karma Yogena Yogina. But if we take secondary meaning of Sankhya means Samyak Khyayate iti Sankhya. And Samyak Khyayate means one who tells clearly what is our nature is called Atmagnan or Brahmagnan is also called Sankhya. That's why the name of 2nd chapter was Sankhya Yoga. Because in 2nd chapter, from 11th verse up to 25th verse, Bhagavan has discussed only our real natures. And Samyak Khyayate, he described, he teaches us very clearly. It's called Samyak Khyayate, means Brahmagnan. But primary meaning in available in Shastra, the meaning of Sankhya is equal to sannyas. That's why Bhagavan has taken Sankhya as a sannyasa here. Sankhya Yoga Pruthak Balaha. So yoga, the meaning is life of karma yoga, Pruthak. They are different, they argue. Who argue? Balaha. But na panditaha. Wise people, they never argue like this because they know both will gain same result. Either karma yogi and sannyasi. Still, I have written again one division. There is a one karma yogi and here sannyasi. Both can pursue knowledge. In spite of house, a person can pursue knowledge. Only lifestyle is different. Here, lifestyle is different. Goal is same. Both has, what is the goal? Atma Jnanam. Here, what is the goal of sannyasi? Same, Atma Jnanam. But karma yogi, through thoughtfully and carefully live a life of householder, and here sannyasa also thoughtfully and carefully live a life of sannyasa. For what purpose? Only for Atmagnan, nothing else. So both will get same result. The result is nothing but Atmagnana. That's why Bhagavan says, Samyak means properly, Ekamapi, even one only. And one Astitaha means one who follows properly, either Karma Yoga or Sannyasa, Vindate, that will get Upayoho, both result. Because both result is same. Somebody says, I would like to go Delhi by car, and somebody says, I would like to go by Delhi by flight, but result will be same. They will reach only same place, Delhi. Same way, somebody says, I would like to know myself through Karma Yoga lifestyle, and somebody says, I would like to know myself through sannyasa. But same, ekamapi astitaha. If only one lifestyle, if one follows properly, diligently, with total awareness, then ubayoho phalam vindate. They will get the result of both. And that the result, what is the result? Moksha. So this is only means. Lifestyle is an instrument to know who am I. Even sannyasa or karma yoga. Result same. Ubayoho samyak phalam vindate. They will get both same result. Either karma yogi or sannyasa. In different manner, Bhagavan is keep on telling only one thing, both either sannyasi or karma yogi, they will get only moksha if they are following the life or live a life properly. There is no division. Same is repeated in 5th verse also. Yat sankhye prapyate sthanam tat yogerapi gamyate. Ekam sankhyan cha yogam cha yah pashyati sa pashyati. One sentence is here. Yat sthanam sankhyehi prapyate. Then sthanam, this is not really speaking is one place, but the meaning of sthanam is our goal, or our goal is moksha. So yat moksham prapyate is gained by whom? Sankhyehi, sannyasinehi. Same sthanam, same moksha, yogehi api gamyate. So karma yogi grahastha also, they will know, gamyate, they will gamyate, they will reach, they will also get yogehi. And what that sthanam, they will reach, they will know. Both sthanam here is written prapyate and here is written gamyate. Prapyate means to gain. And even gamyate means, really speaking, gachati is a passive of gachati. So generally they say they reached. But here prapyate, it is a not, is traveling. Like I will go and I will reach Rajkot, I will reach somewhere, whatever, Delhi. Same way I will get. But both verbs use for knowledge only. Gamyate also we are using for knowledge, and prapyate also we are using for knowledge. So when we translate even prapyate or gamyate, we can write both things. Even Bhagavan has used two verbs, but still is gained only. It is not gaining also, only removing ignorance. So yat sankhyehi moksham prapyate, yat sthanam, yat mokshaha sankhyehi prapyate, tat sthanam also karma yoginaha api gamyate. So both will take same moksha. There is no difference. And one who says ekam sankhyam cha yogam cha, one who says both are same. Either you say sankyam or one say yogam. One who says properly yaha pashyati, both are one and same. Either one say I am following sankhya, someone say I am following karma yoga. Both are whatever they are following lifestyle. One he says yaha pashyati, one who sees saha pashyati, the meaning they see true thing. They see the truth. The truth is both lifestyle will lead to moksha only. Yaha pashyati, one who understands that, saha pashyati, that person understands properly. because both lifestyle will lead only moksha. That's why I have written one Anvaya means Sankhyehi Yat Sthanam Prapyate. Sankhya, by sannyasi, they will gain which sthanam means which place. And place is without going any place, to know, traveling with oneself. Tat yogehi api gamyate. That same moksha is gained by even karma yogi also. Ekam sankyam cha yogancha. Both are even either sannyasi or karma yoga, both are one and same. Yaha pashyati, one who can understand. Saha eva pashyati. The person only sees. Yet the seeing is not literally through eye seeing, but the meaning of pashyati is understand truly. Both the meaning of pashyati is also understand, not through eye we are seeing something. So that's why I have written by sannyasi, which end means moksha is gained. So here the sthanam, even in 15th chapter, Bhagavan is using one dhamam. Dhamam comes, sthanam comes, then people interpret that there is a place to go. Dhamma also a place to go. Even sthanam means a place to go. That's why they have fantasy after death, that place a person should go, then only moksha. But when dham comes, when sthan comes, the meaning is not traveling, the meaning is to know oneself. Like Puja Swamiji used to say, there is a walking without walking, there is a tea without tea. Same way, this is a traveling without traveling. And where we have to travel? Within a oneself. A travel when inside, when we try to know oneself, then we know ourself is ever free. That's the meaning of sthanam, is really speaking moksha only. To know oneself, it is a not place to reach, but simply to know who am I. And it will take only inside only. And it's called sthanam, means moksha. So whatever sthanam taken by, gained by sannyasi, tat yogehi api. That sthanam, yogehi, means all karma yogis also reach. Rich means they can also understood what is my real nature. And then jnanam. In what time jnanam will take place, it's only depend on the preparedness of mind of that person. After 1 year, 20 years, time is not fixed. It depends on our preparedness of mind. Either is a sannyasi or karma yogi. So I have written one is very beautiful, one line of Shankar Bhashyam. He has written for karma yogis. What karma yogi does? Samarpya sarva karmani. Samarpya means having offered all karmas, all actions. Unto whom? So it's written here, Ishvare. To offer Ishvara. And why that person is offering all action to Ishvara? So he says, Gnana Prapti Upayatvena. This offering our action is a means to know oneself, to gain knowledge. That's why that person is offered all karmas. And still that person is Atmanaha Phalam Anabhisandhaya. Phalam means the result of action. Abhisandhaya means having kept in desire. Okay, I need the result of this action. But anabhisandhaya means that person doesn't have any interest in the phalam. So atmanaha phalam anabhisandhaya, still karmani anutishtanti. If he pursue, he performing all type of karma for te yoginaha, for such karma yogis, says tehi api, that yogi also Paramartha Gnana Prapti Dharena Gamyate. That person also Paramartha Gnana Gamyate. That person will gain the self-knowledge. But in which way? So he has written one sannyasa word. So Shankaracharya is also clarified the here sannyasa means sarva karma sannyasa. By mind, he has given up everything. So I am not performing this karma for myself and I am not receiving any result of karma for myself. Everything is coming, just doing for Ishvara and accepting is a prasada. Such person will prepare and Gnan will come. Sarva karma sannyasa prapti dvare. The sarva karma sannyasa is also called moksha. That's why Bhagavan says, Ekam Sankyam Yogancha. Both Sankyam is sannyasi and Yogam means karma yogi. Both are one and same. Yah Pashyati, one who understands, one who sees clearly, he or she sees the truth. The here sees also we can write one who understands. We can take also sees literal seeing, but here not literally seeing, one who understands clearly. Both are one and same. That person only sapashyati. That person only sees the truth. So today I was also reading Pujya Swamiji's Gita home study. So this is a portion of Gita home study, last portion of this fourth verse. Pujya Swamiji has written beautifully. He always beautifully, but still he says, Pujya Swamiji says, there are those who analyzing the Gita, Panditaha and Balaha. For that, Pujya Swamiji is telling, there are those who analyzing the Gita in their own way have tried to prove that the Gita advocates karma only. So one who prefers karma, that the performance of karma alone produce moksha. So there are people who says the performance of karma alone produce moksha and that it does not talk about sannyasa at all. They never tell about sannyasa and some are tell about only sannyasa, not for advocate karma. This is an error and it creates problems for others as well. Krishna has said very clearly that there are two lifestyles in this world. So this footnote 10 means lokesmin vividhanishta. So it is difficult to understand how anyone can interpret the Gita to mean that karma alone produces moksha. But they do, being prejudiced, being committed to the hard and fast conclusion they have made before even studying the Gita. They had their own conclusion. This is why we need to analyze if what they advocate is true. And to do so, we need to look into Gita and see what is actually does say. So what Bhagavan would like to convey. And again, Swamiji says to first make a conclusion and then look into Gita to support your conclusion. It is not pramana vichara. It is not inquiry. It is merely only our own interpretation. Pramana vichara is to see what Gita really says. For this, you need to be highly objective. When you think, because I have Shraddha in Gita, I want to know what is it says, then it is called Pramana Vichara. So if they say just blindly, karma will give moksha, in one say blindly, only sannyasa will give moksha, both are wrong. So if it is written here before the sixth verse, Shankaracharya says in his Bhashyam, if from both lifestyle, moksha will take place. So Arjun might have said, I would prefer sannyasa, as it seems more easy and with minimum duties. If karma yoga also give moksha, if sannyasa also give moksha, then why should I not follow sannyasa? Because there is a less duty, there is a more easy. So if Arjun starts thinking like that, then Bhagwan has told, it is a very beautiful verse, 6th verse. Sannyaasastu mahabaho dukkhamaptu mayogatah yoga yukto munir brahma nachirenadi. Just we will see translate roughly. Bhagwan says, Ye Mahabaho, the meaning is almighty arms. Sannyasah, a lifestyle of renunciation. Ayogatah, a person who is not prepared. Dukkhamaptu, it is difficult. It gives dukkhamaptu. So, ayogatah means a without is which is not prepared. For such person, sannyasa is difficult. It will give pain. Better, yoga yuktaha, a person who is endowed, who is given to karma yoga lifestyle, that person is muni, one who has a capacity to contemplate. It's called muni. Such person, brahma na chirena adhikachyati. That householder, karma yogi, one who can contemplate, that person can know Brahma Tattva without any delay. Chirena means long time. Na chirena means very shortly, quickly, without any delay, that person can understand. But all details we will see tomorrow. Any question regarding this? Chat.
Swaminiji,
Yes.
what factors contribute to a person interpreting the Gita in a narrow way? What type of background does that type of person have?
I would say only our little punya, our inclination to know Ishvara also, it can lead to understand Gita. Our punya only. There are many people are around all over the world, but there are very few people who would like to know the meaning of Gita perfectly. It needs some blessings. It needs some punya.
Yeah.
Guru Ishwar Krupa.
Mm.
But without
Did Puja
Ishwar,
Swamiji say somewhere
yeah. What?
there is a Gita translation that's called Bhagavad Gita as it is.
Yeah. Mm. Yeah. ISKCON. Yeah.
So we want to know Bhagavad Gita as it is, but someone has to properly interpret it for us, like Shankaracharya.
Mm.
So in my understanding, yes.
No, you go ahead, Swamiji.
So yeah, according to me, you all are blessed. That I would like to say. Otherwise, who are interested to listen Gita every week? It is very difficult. Really speak. I'm not just praising you, but I'm just telling you, it is very difficult.
Yaminiji, we are blessed because you are there to bless us.
Yes, Swami TV says, you can find a lot of teachers, but you cannot find good students.
Yeah, this is very true.
Actually, it hooks you. If the teacher is right, you cannot get away from it. It hooks you so much that you're getting.
You feel like coming back. You want to come back.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Swamiji.
Yeah.
You have taken so much effort in
making the notes and teaching us. So we should be thankful to you.
But you know, there is in Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, in his autobiography, when Ramakrishna Paramahamsa has gone through all type of sadhana, then on the terrace, he was just shouting, I would like to give my gnanam. Please come, please bring, please come. So he was inviting all students. Please come. Then Narendra, then slowly, all Rakhal, everybody is
Rakhal, yeah.
And the other day you talked about Swami Chinmayananda going to masses, and in his first lecture he had 4 people.
Yeah.
And his guru asked him, so how many people were there? Swamiji, so just sort of trying to summarize this, or I mean, I wouldn't dare to say summarize, but the thing is, for sannyasa, like you said, to enter the sannyasa, to take up sannyasa, one needs to have a prepared mind, which means your raga dvesha is already neutralized. Because when you enter sannyasa, you don't have a field where you can deal with all these issues, because you are only dedicated to pursuit of knowledge at that point. And so you don't have you don't have circumstances where you can polish and let go of your raga dveshas, etc. Like others will have outside, right? So when your raga dveshas are neutralized, and then you take sannyasa, that's when you take sannyasa. And from there, that also means that you have already let go of your ego. Because as long as you're holding on to your ego, you're not going to be able to let go of your raga dveshas. You're always, saying, me, mine, I want this, I don't want, right? So they kind of go hand in hand. And when you let go of ego, when you're letting go of ahankara, and that means you're all ready to identify yourself. The only way you can really let go of ahankara is when you're identified with the whole. Right? Otherwise, there will always be, that me, I sense popping up. So really letting go of ahankara is only possible when you reach that level where you're identified. You have that bhava, you're identified with the whole. Similarly, when you say karma yogi, true karma yoga is not possible. The karma yoga says you have to have Ishwararpana buddhi, so which means everything that you do, you're offered to Ishvara, and prasada buddhi, meaning whatever you get as result, accept it as prasada from Ishvara, without any, you're accepting without any murmur in your mind. Right? This is a karma yogi. And really, again, true karma yoga is not possible until you have let go of your ahankara. Because in the moment you say me and mine, always you will have a problem in your mind about offering it to Ishvara, first of all your actions. You will say, I am doing it. That little I sense will be there. And you will always have some problem accepting the result also. Right? So a true karma yoga is not possible till again you have let go of your ahankara, which means you are identified with the total. And that is jnana. Right? So all of it's the same. Whether so like Krishna is saying, the thing is, I think Arjuna is going to keep asking further questions on this, on whether you should follow sannyasa or karma yoga. But it seems very clear what Krishna is talking about. Or maybe it's clear to us because Swamiji has explained it and you are explaining it. Right? That the two are lifestyles. So you choose the lifestyle according to your circumstance in life also. Yeah. Right? If you are already a householder, there's no point in running away from your household. and trying to achieve something, you can very much do it here.
Yeah.
Right?
Same. Yeah, right. Correct. 100%. Yeah.
And I also I also feel it is so important not to get stuck in the mind, because sometimes it's just the letting go process of surrender, or with meditation or devotion or bhajan or anything, that is so crucial for us in as a family person, as a karma yogi, because we can't just always be in our brain thinking this, that. I feel that is so important for us to feel what's within us.
This is very true. Yeah.
This,
The word karma yogi itself we cannot use it loosely. It is a very, very, very high state.
Yeah.
And even a sannyasi, one who is ready to take sannyas in the way, renunciate, has to be at that high level. So also a karma yogi. You can say you are in the path, you are trying to do it. When you are trying to do your karma without getting affected, etc., you are in the path. But truly, a karma yogi is equivalent to a sannyasi. They are no different. And that itself is, if you've reached that level, that itself is jnana. Because that really is not possible truly to renounce everything. Sarva karma sannyasa is not possible without understanding the whole. Without understanding that that your eyes have no role to play. Whatever you do, or you are just an instrument. Right?
Yes. All of that, what I'm hearing sounds right, but at the same time, this Maya of Ragadvesha is so strong. So I feel, at least for me, I feel devotion, like letting go, is so crucial. No matter how much I learn, what I think, I want to drop my thinking at some point and want to just surrender, and just take it to be in the present moment.
Yeah, very true. Anything else?
in Swamiji, this Pritak Bala Vadanti, Balaha Vadanti. In Dakshinamurti Stotram also, Shankaracharya says, Stri Balanda Jatopama Stvahamiti, Pranta Brisham Vadina. I thought it was interesting that, I mean, I feel like, if we think too much, then it becomes like Branta Brisham Vadina.
Right.
But
on the other hand, if you are wrestling with this, you are wrestling with this. You just cannot force yourself to get out of it.
No,
so
the point this is a subject that requires you to think, because you have to remove all the wrong thinking that you have done all your life or all your janmas and the previous janmas, etc. Because without that inquiry and that mananam and that nididhyasanam, it's not going to be, you're not going to be able to internalize it. That is essential.
Thinking without thinking. So like it's like it's a timeless journey to a pathless land.
No, what I meant
it's
was
beyond
you have to use that mind. You have to use your mind. Although you have a problem with your mind in the sense that it's in your mind that you have the eye sense, and in your mind that you have all the issues, but you still have to use the same mind to understand, analyze this.
Okay, in the 5th chapter it says, Manasa eva arandatyam. You can only, it's like using a thorn to remove a thorn.
Something like that.
But Swamiji, I go back to every time you say we are blessed, we are blessed. There are teachers who are very thorough, but their approachability can be questionable. You are approachable in the most relevant sense, and I will never forget. Every time I speak about moksha, I remember your word. Your name is moksha. That is something. That's amazing.
Yes, yeah. You have a very smiling face, which is sort of just relaxes us.
Approachable.
But I think we kept it too late today, Swamiji. You must get your dinner.
Thank you. No problem.
Bye.
Yes.
Bye.
Please take care of all of you. Wherever you, please take care of yourself. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Swamiji.
Om Purnamada
Purnamada Purnamidam
Purnamudachyate
Purnamudachyate
Purnamadaya
Purnamaya
Purnamevavasishyate
Shanti,
Shanti
Shanti,
Shanti
Hari
Hari
Om
Om Shri Gurubhyo
Namaha.
Namaha Hari
Om
Om